What's going on, everybody? It's me, Comic Crack. A quick little video. Got some mail yesterday, I guess, from the one and only Domino Books. If you don't know Domino, you should check them out online. Got some really, really great stuff. DominoBooks.org. Have a look. Let's have a quick look at what I grabbed. So I feel like there's been a few videos lately. I sold some books online and had some money in PayPal. So it's been a while since I've ordered from them. I've been kind of jonesing for some independent small press type stuff lately. So I figured I'd do an order from them. I did an order from strangers today, actually. I just got one book today. And I don't know, I'm just, because I've had kind of hit and miss luck with going to the shop and reading kind of newer books, I needed to fill that independent void there. So figured, what the hell, let's do a Domino order. First up here is 7th of May, 2019. This is a risographed little, I don't know, mini comic, I guess. Andrew Alexander, Andy, 2019. Hello, Miss So. How are you? So I read a bunch of this stuff. I think there's just one book here that I haven't read. This one was, I mean, when you think of kind of independent small press zines, you think of kind of autobio stuff. And this kind of fills that void, as far as this is an autobio kind of comic about one night with Andrew here. I don't know, man. I didn't mind it. It didn't kind of do too much for me. It was a nice enough read, entertaining enough, but yeah, I don't know. I guess there's a limit to my enjoyment of kind of a snapshot of real life. Maybe I wasn't quite in the mindset, but this was just an okay read. I wouldn't rave about it and send you out there grabbing. But yeah, the Rizzo stuff is great. It's really, really nice. I love the look. I just love everything about these kind of mini comics and stuff. So I'm glad I tried it out. This one has been out there for quite a while. This is Tinfoil number 4. I believe that says 2021 on there. So this is a Domino Books and Dead Crow publication that I think they only did this one issue together. It's an anthology magazine. I really, really wanted to like this one. It's just so strange for me to be doing a video like this. I really wanted to like this one a lot more than I did. Honestly, some of this I just found frustrating. This first story, as far as the art goes in some of this stuff, I enjoyed what people were doing or trying to do with the art side of things. It kind of fell flat for me, though, to be honest. There were some stories here that I just found really frustrating. Something like this, for example, I really found frustrating to read. As great as it looks at parts, I don't really see the point. And I kind of always go back to when I listen to kind of experimental and noise music and stuff like that. Like, you're having people that are just really enjoying the form of comics and enjoying that, kind of stretching that creative muscle. And I can appreciate that, but sometimes it really doesn't do as much for me. I guess when it comes to music and things, when it comes to noise music and experimental music, I guess because that's been really ingrained in me my entire life, I'm willing to give some stuff a chance, a little bit more of a chance. I'm pretty willing to give comics a chance. There's no doubt about that. But this kind of pushed the boundaries for me of kind of enjoyment. Like stuff like this, I guess I'm not as tuned in. I do realize that we have limited language when it comes to comics and what comics are. And I do understand, well, I think I understand that something like this is trying to push those boundaries and kind of push comics as a form to another level. This is Austin English. So Austin English is the proprietor, owner of Domino Books. His stuff, I really enjoy the look of it. He's got a book out right now, and I'm blanking on the name right now. I apologize for that. But if you check out Domino Books, it'll probably be the first thing listed in their shop. It was either, I think it was Earl Grey who ordered the new Austin English book. And even when he was flipping through it, there's something very appealing about his style in kind of a comics form. I'm very curious to see what else he does and how far he goes. But like I said, there was just so much of this where I just felt like, okay, well, I'm turning pages. I guess I'm reading something. Am I enjoying this? I don't really know. So this necessarily, I mean, at the end of the day, this is probably not really my thing. I'm glad I gave it a shot. I'm glad I kind of dove into it, but this one isn't bad. The art here, but it's just not really my thing. So there's a pretty good look. What was the name on this one again? Christian Costello is a name here that I recognize. So a lot of this stuff is kind of jam comics, I guess. So they're working with another creator to create a piece. Yeah, no, very unique artwork for sure there, Miss. So every single strip is kind of a compilation, is kind of a work with another artist or a group of artists kind of putting a story together, which again, I can kind of get behind that idea. But yeah, so there you go. Sort of magazine size on that one. So that's tinfoil number 4. I think that so far there's one book I haven't read yet, but out of the 3 that I got, this one is the hit for me. This was fantastic, not only in art wise, but kind of really in the vein of taking a very satirical, over the top look at Batman. So this is Josh Simmons doing Birth of the Bat. I feel like this is a book that's really, when it comes to indie books of the last kind of very recent history, this is 2021. This one has really made an impression. It seems like a lot of people have picked this one up. I think the Kayfabe guys did a look at this one too. This was fantastic. I really dug this one. It's 100% childish in some ways, as far as it's a pretty easy target making fun of Batman. But that said, I still thoroughly enjoyed this. This was ridiculous, completely over the top, but some incredible artwork. I mean, you're starting off with that panel there. That panel, the clouds, I studied that for a little bit. It's really, really nicely done, how that background is put together there with just the kind of cross-hatching and stuff. So this is Batman in his kind of most depressed, kind of going through his life and talking to Alfred, and here we have him tattooing the bat symbol on his chest. And kind of these moments, like a panel like this, I think is fantastic. Just him full on in the shower, the water hitting his head, and just completely not feeling it. Really ridiculously fun stuff. You get a little bit of a sense of his space here as he's looking for Albert, going door to door within the mansion. That's a beautiful big panel there as well too. This is magazine sized as well. This book opens the door to see some utter destruction there in one of the rooms. Here we go. Fantasizing about fantasizing about Catwoman and masturbating. And then we cut to the stucco or the stalactite and stalagmite cave coming out of this panel, so to speak. I thought was hysterical. So it's over the top. It's insane. I won't show you the last few pages. I don't want to spoil the entire thing for you, but if that style appeals to you and if you want something that's just ridiculous, I'd suggest grabbing that. There's actually, let's open it up there. It's kind of the 2-page spread on Batman living in the mansion as it's falling apart. Yeah, he totally needs some Prozac. And then that poor little guy. Look at that poor little fella there. Anyway, so this came out, I guess, as a couple of different chapters. So he talks about the publishing of it, what year it was. And then there's a little strip here talking about, are there more Bat adventures on the horizon? And then perhaps. So I'd be down for more of this stuff. This was thoroughly entertaining. And then finally for tonight, Josh Bauer is a guy that I've really grown to. Yeah, no, absolutely miss. So go to Domino. I think there's a few of these indie publishers, but that are carrying that one. You can probably buy it right from Josh Simmons himself if you look him up online. Possibly he's got some, but I think Domino has some copies left. So Josh Bauer is a guy that I've really grown to enjoy quite a bit. Last year I read Theth, Tomorrow Forever, the graphic novel. And then I got the RM, which was his version of a ROM story. And then there was, let me just pull these out here, actually. They're within arm's reach. So Theth, Tomorrow Forever. Loved this graphic novel. I thought it was fantastic. One of the things that really stood out to me was his coloring style within this book. I thought it was incredible. So he recolored a few things, one of them being this RM, this ROM story in his kind of new digital style that he's been playing with. This book I didn't like very much, probably because I'm not a big fan of ROM to begin with. This one I thought was really great. It still kind of went down that path of autobiographical, but I found that at times it pulled back when it was necessary. It didn't kind of go down too deep. This is the second book in the Theth series, I guess. I don't know if he's doing more with this character. Theth is sort of him in the stories. So in this second volume, you see him picking a comic up off the rack, and it's Black Star. So what he did was he released a comic of Black Star, and this is kind of taken off of Dick Briefer's Frankenstein. So he released this comic so you could kind of read the comic within a comic. He did the same thing for Mr. Incompleto in the first volume of Theth. A similar thing happens. I don't have that book. The similar thing happens. He goes and picks a comic up off the rack, and it's a Mr. Incompleto book. He self-published this one in 2014, and then he recolored it in 2021. So I couldn't resist. His stuff, I think, is really great. There's a quality to it that I absolutely love. Like here, this kind of style. He was nice enough to when I ordered from him, he did a little watercolor that he included as well too, and threw in a couple of other things, including this that I made a magnet out of. There was a print of the ROM character, so I made a magnet out of that for my filing cabinets. So within the first book, this came out. He was going to release it at the same time as what he talks about in here. Box Brown was putting out the first book, and he wanted to do two. And Box said, no, let's just stick with the graphic novel. So he self-published this in 2014. What the heck? I Am War was his imprint. He's since changed the name to Means and End Publications. and did this version. I haven't dug into this yet, but I'm really, really looking forward to this. These stories kind of stand on their own. You don't need to read the Theth book to kind of, it does, as far as I understand it anyway, it doesn't directly tie into it. It's just this idea he liked to explore comics within comics. But this looks fantastic. His style is very, very unique. I can't think of anybody that looks like Josh. Yeah, all my custom magnets there, Miss So, all sorts of stuff I've got through the years that I just kind of put magnets on for my filing cabinets just to give me something artistic to look at while I'm staring at these cabinets in the room. But this one, thoroughly looking forward to it. I'm going to wait for the weekend to come and sit because this is quite a thick volume here. So I have no idea what this is. Like that Black Star, I imagine that it's an RM. I imagine it's influenced by a comic that really influenced him. What that book is, I have no idea. But I mean, look at this shit. That's great. Like, that's really, really great. There is a podcast. I can't remember what the podcast is called. He does a guest spot on it, and he talks about his new coloring technique and kind of how he goes about it for these books. I hope he keeps kind of giving his older material the same treatment where he colors in the style, because I think it works phenomenally. So yeah, there you go. A couple of other things coming in the mail, but I couldn't resist showing these off. There was 2 books that he didn't have in stock, but he's put me on the list, and when they come out, he's going to send them my way. I think they're both, I think one is maybe a 1-person anthology. I don't remember. Anyway, we'll have a look at those when those come in a few weeks, however long it takes. It took quite a long time for this to get in from the States. When I was watching it, it seemed to go everywhere except for enter into Canada. Looks like some pinups by other people. There's no signatures on these, but yeah, I haven't looked through this whole thing yet, so this is a first time for me as well. Oh, okay, an 80s artist that he reminds you of. Blanking on the name. Yeah, I'd be curious if it comes to you in our next chat, next hangout. If you remember, let me know. So there you go, Mr. Incompleto. Birth of the Bat, 7th of May, and Tinfoil number 4 from Domino Books. Right on. Thanks very much, Miss So, for hanging out, and we'll talk to you.